Yeah, hi. Is this Middlebrow?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Middlebrow podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian Park.
I'm Dan Rosen.
And if you're watching on YouTube, which of all episodes that have been released, we implore you to watch this one on YouTube. Because as you'll see, we are recording from an actual, real professional podcast studio.
Yeah, you can see every one of Brian's pores now. Before, there's no autofocus going in and out of our water bottle, which was an aesthetic choice. People are like, why is that happening? It's like, no, we want to disorientate the viewer. We're doing kind of a Wong Kar-wai thing for a while.
Yeah.
But people didn't get it.
The mise-en-scène was just flying over people's heads,
Yeah.
you know? But we're not beating the millennial allegations, judging from now our
From the wood
podcast.
paneling.
Our podcast is going to look like your favorite millennial podcasts.
Yeah.
But we're different. We're your favorite millennial podcast's favorite podcast.
Yes, that's our new rebrand.
And also,
That's what people say when they don't have enough listeners or viewers. It's like, no, like your fave loves it though. Billie Eilish, she fucks with it hard.
you've never heard of this fine artist, but they're your favorite fine artist.
Yeah.
Favorite artist.
Yeah. Sasha Gordon loves her.
And watch on YouTube, because if you notice on the wide angle, Dan is
Oh, come on.
Dan is wearing shorts with a long sleeve button up.
Well, first of all, if you're wearing shorts, you gotta pair it with a long sleeve shirt so you don't look like a little kid.
I've said this in GQ. I've said this on the
you
podcast many
have?
times. I read the Sam Altman article. I'm leaning in like crazy. I'm
He
all
wears
about
shorts.
self-promotion. Yeah, when it's appropriate. It's like at Peter Thiel's hot tub at 2 in the morning.
No,
he's wearing shorts.
nothing there. He's trying to meet some boys. I'm wearing shorts because I just got back from Japan, and I haven't done laundry yet, Brian. And so these are baggies, and they have lining, and it's my only option. So I didn't want to do this. But I just got back. Did I mention I got back from Japan?
But you're wearing like American shorts. You're wearing like 5-inch inseam shorts. I know that the Japanese people, they're wearing shorts that are like, are those shorts? Are those pirate pants? Are those
They
capris?
don't show skin in Japan at all. I noticed this. There's really no
Because it's
like
juvenile.
women dress very conservatively. Everyone's wearing the men are wearing suits. Yeah, not a lot of ankle.
My butthole is so clenched right now because
know.
I feel once you opened up with the women are dressed conservatively, I was scared about what was going to come out of your mouth next.
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
I didn't go on the women only cars, Brian. I didn't go. That is a sinister thing that you're like, what's going on in this country that you need these?
The fact that if you take a photo with any of their cameras, why does it make a very loud sound? the camera shutter sound. Why is that there?
It's a good question.
But yeah, so we're in a new podcast space, and also other big changes happening with Middlebrow. Dan and I have decided that we are going to pivot into an AI infrastructure company.
Yeah, we're no longer going to be doing a podcast at all.
No. So we're following in the footsteps of our good friends Allbirds.
Another millennial icon brand.
I mean, for those listeners who haven't seen the news, Allbirds, RIP, one Stan's favorite New Zealand
Dan's mom's.
wool
Dan's mom's
sneaker.
favorite.
They have rebranded and did a big business pivot into AI infrastructure. So they're now called Newbird AI. And their
What does
stock-
that even? I don't know what that means. I like legit. I don't. Did they have technology?
So what's
did they have proprietary wool technology that actually was it like, you know how NVIDIA was making video games and then actually like their chips were very, very fast and useful, and so they're able to pivot into this new AI era? Is there some like secret wool technology that they were using that's like actually a data center somehow?
So I had the same questions as you. I had to go through 4 different tech media outlets to find some explanation that's still vague, but kind of hints at it more than the others.
Yeah.
Newbird AI is what their new name is. Allbirds said it will focus on AI compute infrastructure with a long-term goal of offering a fully integrated cloud computing model. The company said it has reached a $50 million agreement with an institutional investor to make the change. Sign of a healthy sector that isn't a speculative bubble whatsoever.
So are the employees staying the same? Or is it like a Ship of Theseus thing where everyone's being...
It's like
It sounds like a healthy economy. I don't know. All our jobs are going to be taken by Allbirds. Who would have thought? The cute, shitty little shoes.
Well, we covered this in a previous episode where like this is everything. Because Allbirds, their stock price went up over 600%.
Sure.
That's normal.
That makes sense.
Surely,
to me, that makes
surely
sense.
there's nothing fraudulent happening there. Like but with the Toto toilets.
Yeah.
Remember I told you about this?
What did Toto do?
Like Toto makes the ceramic toilets.
I was just in Japan, Brian. I know about Toto.
I'm not.
You know how many shits I took?
Which, by the way, this is something that I don't know why Americans don't adopt this. Like the stalls where the door goes all the way down to the floor.
Yeah.
Way better.
But then how do you know if someone's in there?
You could look at the side. I don't know. It's the same mechanism. Are you still poking your head down? You can kind of just lightly knock.
No, I hate the knock. The knock's insane. The knock. I'm adding a time pressure to someone's shit. Or the door jiggle. The door jiggle is really passive. Like it says in use on the outside. Why are you door jiggling me?
I am a serial door jiggle abuser at restaurants.
I just sat down. I didn't even get a chance.
90 seconds. I am going to jiggle the door.
People door jiggle. I'm still putting toilet paper around the rim, and already you're door jiggling me. I can't. I'm not going to be able to perform in these circumstances. So there's a time crunch.
No, but I was reading this CNN article about Allbirds' pivot into AI, and apparently there was a company called Long Island Iced Tea Corporation. In 2017, they tried to capitalize on the crypto bubble. And so then Long Island Iced Tea Corp rebranded as a blockchain technology company.
Right, yeah, that's what this reminded me of. About how many companies were kept
renaming itself Long Blockchain. And so the initial pivot sent the stock up 400%. It didn't quite work out in the long run. The Securities and Exchange Commission charged 3 people with insider trading. The company never became an operational player in blockchain tech, and its shares were delisted in 2021.
Okay, so that's what we can expect. This is how like everyone looks to the market as signs of the health of the economy, you know? But they're falling for Allbirds just putting AI at the end of their name, and going up 600%. And these are the people who are now giving our trust and assuming that they're going to understand how the economy works.
Why are you pushing against me then? The fact that I even announced our pivot into AI,
we're doing it.
KKR and Blackstone are going to be banging on our line now.
I'm down. I'm down for Blackstone, BlackRock. What's the one that Eric Prince does? The Mercenaries.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is it a private equity company?
No. He's Betsy DeVos's cousin, and they're like mercenaries who go into zones, and the U.S. government, they're like contractors, military contractors.
What?
Yeah.
And what do they do?
They like kill innocent people, but we pay them well for it.
Oh my God.
They like, do missions that are probably too stupid and dangerous, and then they're not under the same kind of
I'm not following. So how do we get to this?
I just named blacks. I just am naming blacks. Thanks.
I was like, wait.
Just my specific term of autism is black associating.
Blackstone.
I just say black.
With Betsy DeVos's nieces of
the All Blacks,
group.
the New Zealand. Oh my God. I'm going to do a haka.
Well, Dan, you're back in New York. You were in Japan.
Did you miss me?
I missed you so much. A lot has happened in those 18 days when you were away. I don't believe anything. I just want to scam. I want to hustle. I want to move fast and break things. And Dan, you got fucking got. You know what I'm talking about?
Did I get got?
You've got fucking got. Our devout listeners of Middlebrow, you will know there's only maybe 5 or 6 bands that Dan has brought up on this podcast.
You brought up many bands.
No, Dan, you've brought up Cameron Winter many times. Cameron Winter, wow.
We talk about what's in the news.
I truly saw a once-in-a-lifetime generational musical prodigy. Cameron Winter, Geese. We went to see McGee. We went to see Dijon. I've brought up OK Lou. All of these indie artists are represented by the same PR company, Chaotic Good, which has been in the news lately.
They made like fake TikTok accounts, right?
Yeah. So the TLDR on this is that it's a trend on TikTok where people will call things that are popular a psyop.
Yeah, industry plants.
Or industry plants. And then meanwhile us rubes. And no, they're not industry plants. They're just 5 Brooklyn Prospect Park Slope kids who went to St. Anne's. They
went to Brooklyn Friends, Brian.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ. Fuck. You're confusing them
with
Lena Dunham.
Can we edit that out?
You're confusing.
I'm really
How the fuck did you not know that? You need to know exactly which Brooklyn private school every single Nepo baby went to.
I'm so fucking embarrassed, dude. It's like confusing Crossroads with Harvard Westlake. Like,
Who am I even
Jesus
doing a
fucking
podcast with?
Christ. My God. So basically, Wired magazine and Rolling Stone, they ran these pieces that essentially alluded to Geese's popularity actually being a psyop, because these indie artists have hired this PR company called Chaotic Good, and the main service that they provide is called a narrative campaign, which is where they'll make thousands of fake TikTok accounts to clip up and share clips from these musical performances to just, it's like the Steve Bannon playbook of flood the zone.
Yeah.
And I think to take it one step
And
further.
wear many collars.
Exactly.
Wear shirts with 5 collars.
Well, what I think is really smart about this is that they said most people, they have no opinion. They don't know. They need to be told what to think of a band. And so what they'll do is they'll read the first comment. Like the first comment tells you and brainwashes you into like, that's going to influence your opinion of this band. And so what they do is they'll just write comment everywhere, like a very positive one.
Like, love this band.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah. And
So you're saying I didn't. So when I listened to Geese and I genuinely enjoyed their music, you're saying I was wrong. Actually, I've been brainwashed, but I've been psyoped.
I don't know, Dan. You know,
You're saying
and
I
it's
have to
like,
doubt my own aesthetic experience with art now.
this has brought up a lot of discourse because do you like them, Dan?
I do. First of all, I did not discover Cameron Winter
That is
Geese
such
on
a
TikTok.
fucking lie, dude.
Not on TikTok.
Oh, dude.
I don't.
It's all TikTok. What do
No.
you think? Where do you think it is? Where do you think it is?
Where do I think it is?
Everyone, and Chaotic Good. They're
And
like,
in true millennial fashion, I discovered Cameron Winter from a Pitchfork review.
oh my God.
So I'm immune to the Gen Z
Oh
form.
my God.
But by the way,
Wait, can we
that's
do
the
a quick sidebar?
Okay. Is Pitchfork also an AI company now?
No, Pitchfork is on an AI company. Quick sidebar. Friend of the pod, Ruby Tello.
Yeah.
Ruby Thalot. I'm butchering his last name. I'm sorry, Ruby.
Thoreau, isn't it? He's French?
Ruby Thalot. He teaches at NYU.
Sure.
We got drinks this past weekend, and he was like, I had a very unk moment. And he said that he gave this assignment, like a music assignment to his students, and he brought a Pitchfork. And this is a graduate level course, by the way.
Yeah.
He said none of his students knew what Pitchfork was.
Yeah.
They're like, what is it? Like, what are you talking about?
They have no idea.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's cute, Dan.
So, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you discovered them on what? On
So even if
Pitchfork?
Ruby, whose entire job is to like obsessively try to like understand Gen Z culture, and he's constantly escaping his age and saying like, no, it's not that there aren't new subcultures existing. We're just not aware of them. I embrace it, Brian. I'm not even going to try.
I just
And
don't.
these are good. By the way, it's good if there's a psyop that leads to that's what I go the opposite. Let's do more of this.
You're
The
such
CIA,
a contrarian
the CIA,
fuck,
the
Dan.
CIA did a psyop for abstract art. Good. Now we got Mark Rothko. More. I want more psyops if they lead to good shit. That's my rubric. I don't care where it came from.
It makes me question your authority, Dan, because you're clearly positioned yourself as a man of good taste. Okay.
Yeah, my taste is outside of context.
What is your taste?
My taste is not related to where things came from. I don't care about something's origins.
This is not
I care
a-
about my own relationship to the thing itself
This is
because I'm
such
better than other people.
Fucking
I don't need critical validation or the masses to approve where I got something.
Listeners,
It's fine, Brian.
Listeners, leave a comment, okay? Because Dan, I texted you about this, and you wrote back to me. I sent you this. And I was like, oh my God, Dan.
I said we need to do this for this podcast.
I said you got fucking got. And then Dan, you wrote, how somebody got into my ears doesn't change my relationship to the music.
bars, bro. Bars.
Bro, if it's one band, sure. Every single band that you've brought up on this podcast is represented by this one fucking PR agency.
Yeah, because they probably
have
represent every band.
They own your brain.
This is
dude.
no different than like when PR companies used to get their bands MTV placement or on late night shows or sent out a press release that got it covered. Like this is just adapting the PR placement form to the 21st century.
I somewhat net out where you are. It's just like, okay, it is what it is. But I instinctually, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because all these bands like OK Lou, McGee, Dijon, Geese, they are alternative musicians. They're indie rock. And audiences, we understand that if it's like a pop star, you know that there's this huge institution running them from behind the scenes.
So we know. Okay, so we see like Billie Eilish, and we're like, okay, this is a
and so I
product.
will absorb their art through that lens. But with something that's like alternative, the disjunction is it kind of annoys me a little bit. Like I just immediately assume that if you are an indie alternative artist, you've bootstrapped yourself
but
into
that
success.
path doesn't even exist anymore. That like playing, that like REM playing in shitty like rock bands in college and touring all over the country, like that's not how bands get famous at all. It's literally all just like, can I, make my song be attached to a Get Ready With Me, of a cute little Asian girl. And like, if that's the metric of success, that's how you succeed, is your song about depression and suicide becomes a how to make my matcha latte this morning. If that's how stuff gets famous, that's fine, Brian.
That's so funny.
You got to do what you got to do.
I did a reading at Club 101 for Byline.
Every single thing about that sentence is disgusting. Continue.
I did a reading.
I did a reading at Club 101 for
Byline.
Sure.
Okay.
You don't get to ever make fun of me for anything again.
What's worse, Dan? I did it, but you understand exactly what I said.
Yes, I'm complicit.
You are complicit. And so the upstairs, there was a concert, and it was completely sold out. And there was this long line. A couple friends of ours, we were like, let's take a guess like who the musician is. And people were trying to scalp tickets. And all I said was like, I don't know what kind of music it is, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to be a 24-year-old Wasian. Mm-hmm. It turned out to be a 26-year-old Wasian.
Wow, you're almost there.
Yeah,
So
when you said little Asian girl, I was not offended whatsoever. I was like, you're just spitting truth.
It's just a fact. It's not a qualitative.
Yeah.
You know who seems to be running shit in Japan is Wasians. Every single cafe,
not just everywhere.
Every single cafe, they put like the Wasian out front who has like one they grew up in America. They have one Japanese mom, and then they moved obviously to Japan.
They went to a liberal arts school.
Yeah, they're doing
they're in a
years.
socioeconomically downward mobile position.
Yeah,
okay,
their money goes much
let me go
further.
to Tokyo for a couple of years.
Yeah. And the cafe's like, we're putting you up front. We don't want to deal with the annoying Americans.
Yeah.
And this like 10 different cafes. It's either that or it's someone who learned how to speak English from friends. I met five different Japanese people who just sitting at a bar restaurant, and they spoke English very well.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you speak English? Your English is great. And they were like, oh yeah, I learned it from friends. And then who do you think all their favorite character was? I make sure to ask.
Ross.
Chandler Bing.
Wow.
They all love Chandler Bing. I don't know why. Do you think when they made Friends, they were like, this is going to be what we're sending out into the world to this will be the tip of the American hegemonic spear? And then I looked it up, and like
exactly
this is very common that like around the world people learn English from Friends.
I think because Chandler Bing is the most American.
Because he's like died from a drug overdose.
I think because he just looks the most white. That's what it is.
Well, R.I.P. Matthew Perry.
But yeah, going back to the Geese of it all, there's a viral Substack article written by musician and writer Eliza McClam. It's called Fake Fans. It's just frustrating because if you have a band like Geese who are supposed to be grassroots, and then this evil PR engine is funding all of them and basically should be accredited for their success, then it's taking the place of someone who is actually bootstrapping themselves.
Yeah, I guess, but like the people who is a person who actually bootstrapped themselves. Like I just don't like
us?
The person who was doing us. Well,
truly us.
Yes, Geese is replacing us. Come see us at Carnegie Hall. But like, you see the people who quote unquote make it on their own. What they're doing is, I would say, arguably just as horrible, where they're distorting themselves completely to create a song specifically targeted for the algorithm. It's the like Old Town Road method, where you like try to come up with a dance, or you do something that just has a hook in the first 10 seconds, and the whole song is completely distorted and contorting itself so it can go viral on the internet. It doesn't matter if it's a good song or is it interesting. No, it's usually just like interpolating a much more famous song that you remember. And so okay, that's quote unquote bootstrapping, but it's just as degraded to the art form.
Why did you bring up Lil Nas X as bootstrapping?
He like made his own song, and
Lil Nas X?
how did Old Town Road go viral?
That was a fucking like genetically engineered song by a huge record label.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it was he took the sample from a random guy on the internet, and he made the song himself. Look it up.
I don't
Use
wanna,
your little computer.
I don't want to look it up. What am I looking up? Lil Nas X.
Old Town Road origin.
There's no chance.
He was not with the record label when he made this song.
Old Town Road was originally released independently by Lil Nas X in December 2018 before he signed a major label deal.
Before.
Following its viral success on TikTok, Lil Nas X signed with Columbia Records.
God, that feels so good to be right. This feels so good, and my shorts are open, so I can enters my bloodstream.
Stop. Bro.
He took it's a 9-inch nail sample that this random dude in Europe made, and he like cut it together, and Lil Nas X took it and like bought it, a prefabricated sample that he just rapped over. And then it like became viral through like Lil Nas. He's very calculating. He like thought very, very hard about it and getting into certain videos and doing a dance. But he did that quote unquote independently.
All right, fine, Dan. I concede. I concede.
Where does that get us? Okay, Old Town Road. Wow, what quality, music.
It's the world we're in. We're bootstrapping. Now everyone's flooding the podcast.
Yeah, well,
space.
when you send me this, I was like, "What can we do? Can we hire Chaotic Good to
I would love.
Fake
No,
comment?
we need to hire the agency that represents Adam Friedland and Candace Owens.
Oh, what is that for? Is that the PR guy who does like
Mitchell Jackson?
He does controversial people PR.
Yeah, it's all fake, bro. You know?
I don't think we have to.
I saw that TBPN got acquired by OpenAI for they estimate 150 million.
Great, I'm sure the product.
And
will
then
get
immediately
better.
my mind went to, okay, well, what if maybe we could get acquired by Condé? That could be a good move. And meanwhile, today,
sinking ship.
Condé just announced so many layoffs today.
I just made a few videos for Condé. If I told you what they paid me, you would.
Are you allowed to say?
No, I'm not going to say. I would love to make more videos for Condé. The pay is notoriously low.
You do it for the love of the
but
game.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Yeah, exactly.
You did stuff for the New Yorker. You know how the Condé. They should pay you just for the amount of time it takes to like enter the payment system and navigate their Baroque, cruel, Kafkaesque time card payment system that takes 5 hours just to get paid for the 1 hour of work you did.
Okay, so Dan, I saw that you wrote here in our outline, no athleisure in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Whole country has OCD. What do you mean by that?
I got back from Japan. Did I mention I went to Japan, Brian? I was in Japan.
So many Patreon subscribers are going to unsubscribe because if you mention Japan one more time.
Well, if you're interested in my journeys in Japan, I discuss it in more detail on the Patreon.
We honestly we didn't plug the Patreon either.
We're doing it right now. This is me doing it.
Oh, right.
Or is that a meta one? We didn't plug the fact that there are 3 tiers.
Support us on Patreon. It is the best way to support a small business like ours. And
So we
hopefully,
don't become AI.
Your investment in us allows us to rent studios like the one that we're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
And if we get even more subscribers, maybe we can hire Chaotic Good.
Yeah.
And then you can tell everyone that you listened to us before they were cool.
Maybe one day Brian and I will make a single dollar from this endeavor we've sunk all our time into. Maybe that will happen.
Truly, the sign of the times is that our clipper has been the most profitable person
He's killing
out of this entire venture.
Shout out Jonah. We hope somebody's making it. We support small artists.
Yeah.
So you come back to New York and you're like, fuck, like every single person is athleisure and a dog. And you just don't even realize why you're happy in Japan. And a big part of it, no athleisure, no dogs in every little cafe. No one looks like just.
Whoa. Pause. But you're combining these two things.
Yes, I see them. They're in my mind, they're together.
Wait.
Because there's a respect of other people and human decency in Japan. And they're not bringing their dogs into a restaurant. And they're not sullying, your vision with aloe pants and on sneakers.
Okay, fine. Dogs, I think they're very cute, but I can understand how they can invade your personal space. Why is the athleisure such an affront to you?
Because it's
all these women with their lithe bodies just gaslighting my figure.
Men as well with the Viore joggers.
What?
I was at the most beautiful Zen moss temple outside of Kyoto.
Okay.
One of the most incredible experiences, most gorgeous aesthetic experiences, and everything's just manicured to a T. And this has been around for thousands of years, literally, or over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And then just out of your corner of your eye, you just see On sneakers, ankle socks, 3-inch seam shorts, and you just see these Americans wandering, and any relaxed Zen part of you. If Buddhist monks knew what was sullying their hallowed grounds, in the medieval times, they would have destroyed this moss garden. The bar is so much higher for the floor of how people dress in Japan, and it's a relief because they respect each other.
You're part of that, though.
I don't wear athleisure. I'm wearing shorts right now because I'm out of underwear. I grant you this.
Compared to Asians in Asia, everyone dresses like shit. And it's not just reserved to people in athleisure. Have you seen how European tourists dress?
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah, skinny jeans with a loud La Sportiva hiking shoe. Why is that the goated pairing for European tourists?
They all dress like Cristiano Ronaldo. It's I agree. It's also
crazy. Okay, so it tainted your experience. Seeing
just coming back and just
all of
remembering.
these microplastics being shoved in your face. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard for you to get mindful in these Zen gardens.
It's difficult. But no, I'm back in New York, relieved to spend $30 on a salad.
Yeah.
Pay what maybe 3 people could eat a hearty, delicious, fresh meal in Japan for the price of a extremely mediocre salad, served to you in the most inhospitable way. So it's good. I'm happy to be back, Brian, is what I'm saying.
You were there for a while, and was the portion size alarming to you? Because in Japan, everything is
Yes.
That's the thing. I get really hangry all the time because I'm always fucking hungry. But when I'm in Japan, they can give me 2 slices of seaweed.
Yeah.
And I won't be hungry.
Yeah, because it's...
I'm
because it's perfect. It's like someone's entire life mission is to make those 2 slices of seaweed good.
Right.
And here it's the most apathetic teenager peeling off rat hairs off your seaweed.
Which I gotta say, this is gonna be very a New York specific complaint, but a lot of people complain about the vape shops in New York. It's it's making the neighborhood so ugly, with the loud fluorescent lighting and the neon signage out front. I don't think that Japanese grocery stores and the sub 100 omakase just as annoying.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
know
those are taking over.
They are the new vape shops of New York. They're everywhere, dude.
Yeah, and they cater to the same exact crowd as the vape shops.
100%. And those aren't even Japanese owned, I've realized.
Really?
A lot of them are just owned by Chinese people.
Oh, fuck.
It's just a great hustle. I love this country, man.
Smart Chinese people.
I fucking love this country.
Being the Chinese brand, not great. People love Japan.
People love...
Americans can't tell the fucking difference
These
between
American fatties cannot say no to 2-to-1 California roll special.
Made by an authentic Chinese person.
Exactly. Okay, Dan. So you arrived 48 hours ago.
Yeah.
You're a bit
3
jet-lagged.
in the morning for me.
3 in the morning. But
how am I doing?
You're doing great, sweetie. But yesterday you saw a movie.
Oh, yes. I went straight to the cinema before it was ruined for me.
Is it annoying? Did you go with your wife?
No, I went with Skylar.
So, Skylar, friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Love Skylar.
Well, unlike you who saw Blue Valentine on a date, I didn't think it was a good idea to see
the drama with your wife.
Yeah, a movie.
You're already married. It's fine.
That's true.
You already got past the hump.
That's true.
Meanwhile, my girlfriend and I...
You saw it together?
3-hour conversation post-movie.
Yeah. Don't go see this movie with someone who you have not been dating for a while.
So
it's meant. The movie is meant to provoke a 3-hour discussion after.
This is a movie made for Middlebrow listeners. Okay, so this film, the drama, is directed by a Norwegian filmmaker named Christopher Borgli. I am a huge stan. I said that he's one of my favorite filmmaker working today. I think he's just so fucking funny. But basically, the drama, it stars Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, and they're a week away from their wedding, and they have a night out with friends, a dinner tasting for the wedding, and then it devolves into a game of like, what's the worst thing that you've ever done? And
We're gonna do some spoilers. So
we're not going to do spoilers.
I think we have to.
Dude, it hasn't. Do we
Skip ahead? Yeah,
No,
it's been out for 3 weeks, and
No,
this is coming.
It has not been out for 3
It
weeks.
will. By the time this comes out, it'll been out like a month.
I don't want to do.
I think-
Don't reveal the big spoiler.
I think we have.
Just say no. You cannot, dude. Just
Why
say
can't we
like,
just say spoilers?
something crazy.
Spoilers.
Something crazy. No, that is.
and fast forward if you don't want to. If you don't want to listen.
Wow.
If you don't
Wow,
think
listeners, are you hearing this? In an age of AI where everyone no one wants to put any effort into anything, Dan is like, lift your fucking thumb and press fast forward on your janky podcast app. We can just allude to a crazy secret. Crazy secret. It's not.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Zendaya reveals a crazy
secret
thing that
Let's
she
just assume that it's like she
Shot up a school.
she committed bestiality. Okay? Something in that vein, something nuts. Or she thought about committing bestiality.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie is the fallout of that information and that big reveal, and how that impacts her relationship to her fiance and with their friends. So yeah, what'd you think of the movie, Dan?
I enjoyed this movie.
I enjoyed.
I enjoyed it.
Dan, I'm about to say something annoying as hell right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have an opinion. I think the director, and he did this in his last movie, Dream Scenario, he likes these like very premise heavy movies, like very high concept. Like, you know, Dream Scenario was Nicolas Cage is this like sad professor. All of a sudden he starts appearing in people's dreams. And this one is like this bad. What if you know the person you're about to marry reveals something that makes you see them in a completely different way, and you're like, whoa, do I even know this person? And it's both the movie looks great. It's very well acted, very well edited, and I enjoy when it's there. I think this movie and Dream Scenario suffer a little bit from being like, the premise is great. The first half, the setup is so good, and you're really into it, and then like it kind of sputters and spins its wheels, I feel, by the end. And I just felt like the second half of this movie is just like Robert Pattinson dealing with the fallout and his own, like, can he get over this? You know, and he spirals and acts, you know, wildly and does crazy stuff as he's trying to, like, you know, come to terms with the person he thought he knew.
Right.
And I just feel like it didn't go. It's just like, okay, it's just like an hour now of Robert Pattinson freaking out and nothing else. Sort of, I just wanted more, I guess, in the second half. I wanted him to react further, and I don't know. It just didn't feel like it had another idea beyond just like this big twist that it really wanted you to talk about, which it works. Like, the point of this movie is kind of like to get everyone to then talk about, what would you do after?
Right.
What would you do? Which
Right.
is genius. It's a genius thing,
Right.
because now there's discourse on TikTok. Everyone's talking about it. It's like the equivalent of like, would you still love me if I was a worm? You know, you remember that TikTok trend where girlfriends were asking their boyfriends,
No.
would you still love me if I was a worm? And
I'm not as online as you, so
Okay.
I don't know this.
well, that's how I found out
Sit
about
with
Geese.
that. Sit with that.
So that was like a trend. So it's just like this. It's like this thought exercise, like the trolley problem.
I don't know. I personally, I really love this movie. It just makes all the right moves. You know, like with all of Christopher Borgly's other films, with like Sick of Myself and Dream Scenario, and I think that's why I gravitate towards him, because he is such a premise-heavy person, and I think the premises are like, it invites such great satire, and I think with the drama, he was able to like tie it all in together in a way that his previous two films didn't, and it worked for me. Ultimately, this movie, I say, is they sell it to you as like this rom-com between Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. But I don't think the movie is really about those two characters, and it's more so Zendaya's bridesmaid is Alana Haim's character. I think the central conflict is between those two, and Alana Haim is in this scene where they all reveal the worst thing that they've ever done. Alana Haim reveals a secret where she actually does something really bad, but her intention was not to. Whereas Zendaya's intention was to do something bad, but she didn't do it. And
which is another kind of moral question.
But I think that is the central. That's the central question. Is like, it's impact versus intention
and thought crimes. Is there such a thing as a thought crime?
And I think it's like, where you fall on the line of this is, are you someone who believes that people can change or you don't? That's it.
And also, like, do we have forgiveness as well?
Right.
I think that's a big question. And I think Borgley is interested. I think all his movies kind of are about this, like, cancel culture is in there a little bit.
I mean, he's so great. I mean, Sick of Myself, everyone should go see that. That was his first feature. It's about this woman who is in a relationship with a sculptural, like a furniture designer, sculptural artist, and his career kind of takes off, and she becomes envious of his public fame and recognition, and so then she starts to ingest these medications that make like her skin like break out in hives and boils, and in order to get like virality online. So she inflicts self-harm to like then have more like attention placed on her compared to her boyfriend, whose career is successful.
And so the kind of through line of all his movies is it's a lot about like what people will do, like how people want to be viewed by other people and how much they're willing to sacrifice and change themselves in order to be seen in one way or to be accepted for who they are, and how the people that we know or we think we know can be distorted by outside elements. I think the main difficult part for me in this movie is that like I just did not believe Zendaya's character would do this thing that she considered doing when she was younger. And I think the movie cheats a little.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think the movie cheats a little bit.
Sorry, not all of us had a lot of friends in New York.
Well, this is why it's hard to talk
lots
about.
Of third spaces.
It's just the thing that she does is,
I don't think it's that crazy.
Very uncommon for women, and almost never happens. And even if it is theoretically possible, like the movie stacks the deck so hard on making Zendaya today so almost perfect and likable that to me it's almost cheating, because you're like, just forgive her, or like why do you really care? Like, she's Zendaya, she's amazing, and so it's sort of grafting off of like her beauty, her star power.
I think it works so well for that reason, though. And I think because she has such a clean public image, like it really presses up against the darkness of like this secret that she revealed. And it like worked. I think that casting worked really well for me, because you do want, like, depending on what kind of person you are and where you fall on that line of like, are you someone who can forgive and thinks that people can change? Yeah. I'm like, okay, I get why they cast Zendaya for this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess I wish that the second half of the movie that you kind of lose track of Zendaya and it just becomes about Robert Pattinson's freak out. And that to me felt like a missed opportunity, because she's so good. And he's great too. Like I love the beginning when he's kind of doing like a Hugh Grant
Robert
thing.
Pattinson's so good.
I think they're both, they're both her.
He's a little freaky little boy.
Yeah, at the beginning he's doing this charming British befuddled rom-com thing, and then it actually devolves into like this neurotic ball of anxiety that he doesn't actually have it together at all, and he has no confidence. But Zendaya's character kind of gets sidelined because she's supposed to be this cipher, because he doesn't want to tilt his cards too much by showing us something, and we just want to be in Robert Pattinson's perspective, right? Where we're just like, I don't know this person. Like, can I trust her that she's changed or that she's not the person that she was? And I don't think, and I don't know if there's a solution to it, but it's just like, I would have been interested to see also how Zendaya's character like was dealing with this.
All I want to conclude on is that a lot of people need to look at themselves in the mirror, because a lot of people be acting like Alana Haim's character. Okay?
Very judgy.
Very judgy. Even on a personal level, I see it all the time online, where people are like, fuck you, you should be canceled, you did X, Y, or Z. Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm like, I know what you fucking did.
Well, also,
you're not innocent. You've done some bad shit too.
Yes. Well, also, what the movie does really well, I think it explores how we are much more forgiving, and our morals are much more loose for the people we love and care about. We stop extending that outside of our family and our loved ones. And so what someone close to us does, and if they do something fucked up, or if we do something fucked up, we can kind of understand it, and we bring grace and compassion. But like somehow the moment it leaves that space, we become like extremely cruel and ruthless and lack any and judgmental. And I think the movie does a good job about showing how quickly people are to throw people they care about under the bus, or just even people they don't care about. Just like, we need a little more grace.
I hope this movie wins Best Picture. I'm saying that with my chest.
I don't think it will.
Chaotic good. The chaotic good nowhere in this brain, okay?
Yeah, how do you know Chaotic Good didn't make all those TikToks about like, what did she do? Can't believe she did that. That was fucked up.
Nothing in between these ears.
But I do like, and we've talked about this before, how at least this movie, like Eddington, is actually like trying to say something about this current moment and dealing with things today. And that to me is like what interesting films should do. And it is causing discourse. And I think that in that in of itself is good.
I'm such a New York millennial. I went to the Strand yesterday to buy Lena Dunham's memoir.
Oh my God.
And I assumed that it was going to be on the front table, but no copies there.
Sold out?
And so I had to do I was like, I really didn't want to have to ask, but I guess I'm going to have to walk over to the information desk. Hi, do you have the new Lena Dunham memoir?
Did you whisper it?
And like, oh, we're actually sold out. And then
yeah,
I ended up buying the Keith McNally memoir instead.
Okay.
Nothing
That's more
original.
of a Gen X. That's the Gen X
That's the
version.
Gen X one. And then on my way out of the Strand, I saw a woman come in with her tote bag. She's like, do you have the new Lena Dunham book? They're like, no, we just sold out.
They have a big sign. No Lena Dunham books.
No Lena Dunham books. We should read it and review it on the podcast.
I did. She
Don't
wrote
roll your eyes.
She wrote an essay.
She's
for,
she's
the
a
New
legend.
Yorker.
Don't roll your eyes. I know you're.
I read the essay. I listened
as
to her.
nosy and as I know how fucking gossipy you are, Dan. You're gonna fucking inject this straight into your veins.
I
dude.
listened to her on the Daily. She did the interview thing, and I was just like, I can't. Why am I listening to this? Like, what am I getting out of this? Absolutely nothing. But I'm sure I'll read
You're
it.
so selective, dude.
No, I still listen to the whole
You'll send me
thing.
tweets of clavicular. That doesn't bother you?
I'm a big girls fan. I was defending girls since day one.
Dan, you wrote here. Wow, you actually.
I posted a study.
Yeah,
I can set it up.
You actually posted a study.
Okay, Brian.
Craigslist theory of everything.
Yes.
What is this?
Brian, have you heard about the Craigslist theory of everything?
No.
I'm setting it up. Okay.
Okay. What's the Craigslist theory of everything?
So basically, they did this study that looked at when Craigslist enters a new market, a new town. In the last 20 years, it leads directly to a loss of revenue for local newspapers from loss of money from classified ads and personal ads and things that used to be, finding a roommate, selling a chair, whatever. That's all moved on to Craigslist. So that loss of revenue then leads to severe cuts, usually in local news coverage, and then eventually to the closing of the newspaper. That closing of the newspaper and initially the loss of political coverage in the local level leads directly to people getting much more radicalized and partisan in their, and they pay much more attention to national news, and so it leads to partisanship and to radicalization directly, and to more fierce herding around your viewpoint and your political affiliation, and less relationship to your neighbors. And so Craigslist is directly leading to the destruction of the American fabric.
So Sam Altman innocent.
Sam Altman, he's chilling.
Mark
He's bringing you-
Zuckerberg
Yes.
innocent.
You didn't realize
Craigslist.
every time you try to find a third roommate for your queer, no dogs, polyamorous art commune, you're actually destroying America because you're not putting out a personal ad, and that's how you used to do it.
Hearing you
could blame
describe-
Zuckerberg too, because he also destroyed.
Well, that is what Craigslist is now,
Yeah.
basically. No one really goes on Craigslist anymore.
You don't think so? People still do. But Mark Zuckerberg took it from Craigslist.
You go on Craigslist still?
I don't know, but I don't buy shit from. No, I'm not looking for a roommate.
Well, who conducted the study?
I don't
What
know.
year
It's
was it
in the
done?
thing. I think it was just done last year. But you can directly trace the. You can look at when Craigslist entered a new market. That's a publicized date, and then you can look at the subsequent closing of local newspapers and how long after. And that pattern repeats itself throughout America. It's similar to the fact that like if the capital city of a state is not in the main metro area, there's much more corruption. So like New York is a much more corrupt state than other states because capital city is in Albany, not New York City. So there's less news, there's less local news, there's less attention paid to it,
Right.
As opposed to like Boston or whatever, like places where there's an overlap. And so as we're moving, I mean, it's a general trend that we're moving more and more away from the local and what's going on with our neighbors and our own environment and thinking much more nationally. And Eddington is about that too, like projecting national trends on our local politics and seeing everything through that lens. So it increases corruption on the local level because no one's investigating.
Yeah.
That was what local newspapers used to do. And it's also getting people to like view their neighbors not as people who they're in community with, but as like this, as just a representative of like Democrats or Republicans nationally.
But it's not
who are
like
the enemy.
It's just you need to find ways to reinvest money into our local newspapers is the solution.
Yes, but that's over. So blame Craigslist.
Fuck. It's bleak times, man.
It's fun, huh?
I mean, it is fun. You sent me that thing with Diplo, the AIification of music. I'm thinking about Gruns.
Gruns?
Gruns,
What's Gruns?
the gummy bear company.
Oh, right. How much do they sell for?
Gruns is a vitamin supplement gummy bear, which, by the way, is not a novel thing. I grew up eating Vita gummies. You probably Flintstones.
The Flintstones, baby.
Yeah. This guy, Chad Janis, he was a Stanford Business School student. 3 years ago, had an idea for Gruns. 3 years ago, dude.
I like how you say it.
It has the two dots over the U, the umlaut.
Is it
over
German?
The U. Gruns. You know it's not German. You know he hired an agency to A/B test the fuck out of that
like
name.
a Skylar or however Sydney Sweeney is spelling her thing.
Had athletic greens, which was like that daily green drink.
Yeah.
And then said this tastes like shit.
And I'm sure it doesn't work, right?
It doesn't work.
Okay.
And then,
Sponsor us though, AG1.
Yeah. And he was like, okay,
Shout
let me just make this tastier and in a form factor that isn't annoying. So he had the idea for Gruns. And
And it tastes like Swedish candy or something?
apparently it tastes pretty good, but in a matter of 3 years, he sold it to Unilever for $1.2 billion.
Damn.
It's either we become an AI data infrastructure company or we enter the CPG space, Dan.
And the problem is our listeners have morals and they hold us to standards that Theo Vaughn's listeners do
don't.
not. and so when people are digging deep into our past and posting about it, we have to have integrity, which means no money.
Isn't that what it always nets out to? The people who are tearing us down secretly, it's because you are us. Much like Ronan Farrow took down Sam Altman.
Yes.
It's just gay on gay violence. It's all gay on gay violence.
By the way,
with this
did you
podcast.
notice, not to get controversial, but did you notice in that profile, Ronan Farrow, who I would say Mr. Me Too, among the most prolific,
Yeah.
he wrote
That's his bag.
He did that's how he broke out.
If your friend on the inside is telling you that Ronan Farrow is working on a piece against you, it's time to fucking lawyer up, buddy.
He did the Weinstein stuff.
Yeah.
His sister is Dylan Farrow, who very famously accused their father.
Your hero.
No. Their father, Woody Allen. In the Sam Altman piece, there's just a moment where he just kind of glides over the fact that Sam Altman's sister has accused Sam Altman of
Sexual assault.
Of sexual assaulting her
Yeah.
since she was a kid. Ronan Farrow, who, took every single person to task and believes all victims, just seems to glide over this and be like, yeah, whatever, poo-poos it and dismisses it out of hand. Through what sort of like ethical, moral standard does he give Sam Altman a pass, but then holds all these other people to account? It seems very odd and hypocritical to me. That's just my interesting assessment. I don't know why he forgives Sam Altman.
Coincidentally, and this may seem unrelated, but I think it applies in this case of what you just brought up. So the founder of Chaotic Good, this PR agency, They've scrubbed their entire website in
Okay.
light of all of this controversy. We took things down from the site so our artist partners don't get wrapped up in false accusations or misconceptions about how their music was discovered. Ronan Farrow, that's all riffraff, Dan. Eyes on the prize, okay?
Yeah. I legit don't understand does that mean Me Too is over and like we don't actually
Yeah.
hold it's just an interesting bellwether, or that it's all just like random and it's because he's powerful and connected and people like want to be on his good side.
Who, Sam Altman?
I guess
Ronan Farrow, I mean, both of them, yeah.
both of them.
Right.
That like when it's not convenient, we just kind of like we
Right.
just assume, oh, she's crazy,
Right.
whatever. I guess that's kind of what the implication is in the story.
But the last thing that I think would be fun to talk about is you. Also, I don't know how you're still up because you were sending me tweets like
I'm so
random.
out of it. Anything I say anything I've said today on this podcast should not be taken. I am deeply jet lagged. It's like I'm on Ambien. So you know when like a celebrity takes like what's her face?
Tiger Woods.
No, Natasha Leone like just went crazy on a flight, and I think it's always just because they took Ambien and then they woke up and they drank and then they do something crazy.
Which, by the way, Natasha Leone, I don't really have any sympathy.
Why? Because he talks like an old Jew, and she's the millennial.
No, dude. Like, so her whole brand is like, hey, I'm just living here. She's AI evangelist now.
Dude, Soderbergh is making a movie. He just said like, oh yeah, I'm making an AI movie. One of the greatest directors working right now.
All of them, baby.
He's just like, oh, I guess it makes sense because he's always like, he was
I mean,
using
you
iPhone
sent me the
movies.
video of Diplo on the podcast where he was
Yeah.
just like, AI is here to stay. Just strap up, lean in.
It is this weird thing where it's like it is inhuman and horrible and evil and will fundamentally change it. But I do think the worst outcome will be if artists do not embrace it and figure out how to use it, because I think the audience does not care overall where their content comes from. It's all interchangeable with each other, and it's just like whatever is in front of them. They don't care who made it. Just like the Geese thing, they don't care
Right.
if it's a psyop. They don't care if it's AI. And if at least some people who have talent and artistic sensibilities are not involved in like utilizing it and figuring it out, it's only going to be much worse. And maybe that's like admitting defeat, and
I believe I'm with you. This past weekend, like I said, Ruby brought up something that's kind of sat with me. He's an optimist. He's like, we should do something, and you have to believe that you can do something. To assume that our politicians like cannot do anything about this AI takeover, to be cynical and pessimistic, he was contending it was like a very undemocratic stance. Well, if you just think like, well, there's no point. It's too big. It's too powerful. Even if we elect these people, like there's nothing we can do to change it. And he's like, then what the fuck is the point of like having elected officials who will implement policies to like protect?
Have you seen these? They're like 90 years old. You think they're understanding? You think Orrin Hatch is understanding what? Do you remember the
no.
Zuckerberg hearings are like, how do you make money? And Zuckerberg's like, we run ads. It's like these are the people who are.
Now, what's this algorithm?
Algorithm?
Can you write the formula down on that whiteboard over there?
Yeah,
That is true.
I think there should be a lot of regulation, but I love that the answer that that all the heads of the AI, like Sam Altman said, there's like a 20% chance this destroys the world. Anytime you talk to or you hear an interview with one of these like heads of the AI companies, they're like, I know this is horrible. But they're like, as they're typing, as they're coding, like someone should really stop us. We're going to destroy the world. And like, you're still, you could do it. You could stop. Someone should really stop us. This is horrible. And they're like, but why don't you stop? It's like, well, then China's going to do it. It's like, and then what you want to, it's like, okay, but you're going to do it. And you're saying you're going to destroy the earth. And we're going to kill us all. It's like, yeah, but don't you want it to be like an American, like you don't want to die all Chinesey. You don't want to die from a Chinese AI. Wouldn't that be lame to die from you want to die from like an American AI?
You're bringing like ethics into this.
Don't you want to die from an American AI, Brian?
Why are you talking about ethics? We talking about ethics?
We're talking about that AI?
Talking about ethics?
Is that an AI pun?
That's an AI pun. Are you trying to escape the permanent underclass or not? Because your ethics,
I'm
my
not
friend,
escaping it.
Your ethics, my friend, are the thing
We
that's
started
holding
an
you
art
back.
culture podcast. I'm committed to the downwardly mobile.
We're not an art and culture podcast anymore. Like I said up top, we are an AI cloud computing infrastructure company.
And that's on facts.
Well, listeners, let us know how we did.
Do you like this new studio? Do you like that how well lit Brian and I are?
I like it.
Or is it horrible? Do you wanna wish we were blurrier?
I mean, I generally have like a chuggy millennial aesthetic about me.
Yeah.
But you're the one
Yeah,
who...
the Lena Dunham and you like Christopher Borgley and yeah, we get it.
Okay, Christopher Borgley is not like the others, okay? He published an
He's
essay about his
millennial.
May-December relationship where he dated a 16-year-old when he was 27.
That's not good.
But who knows? Maybe the Chaotic Good PR agency.
But can we forgive? Can we understand? Maybe that's what his movie is asking.
All you can do...
No, I don't. I will
All
say I
you can
don't
do-
love that. I'm not in support
All
of that.
you can do is look at your own actions, make amends.
I have never dated a 16-year-old.
Provide forgiveness when possible,
Uh-huh.
and just work on being a better person.
And that's on facts.
And support the Middlebrow Patreon.
Clock it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Okay, that was Middlebrow.